Okay, guys, I'm going to cut right to it today. So what is going on is M1 Cartman, a content creator slash live streamer on both Twitch and YouTube, who is for the Russian community, I believe, received a Dracomorph for free on live stream directly after complaining that he did not pull one from 300 ancient shards. Now, I have gone around and doing a little bit of research, digging around. I did my journalistic integrity. I also reached out to Plarium and asked them to make a statement, which they did actually respond and make a statement directly to me during a video call. So I have a few bit of informations here. Man, I am butchering my words today. Okay, I have boiled down this information to try to consolidate it to a bite-sized 5-minute YouTube edible worth of content. Okay, here's essentially what it is. If you have not been on the Reddit, if you have not been on the Discord, everyone is complaining. There's memes. I mean, you probably are wondering what the is that if you don't know what's going on, right? And basically what happened was Cartman pulled 300 shards on live stream, didn't get a Dracomorph, started complaining. A bunch of people were going on like a strike, like a payment strike, saying we're walking away. It'd basically be like if I came out, I didn't pull a Dracomorph during this event, and I walked away and started saying, the Well Pod, we're on strike, okay? Well Pod on strike. We're not spending any more money until Darth Microtransaction gets, until Darth Microtransaction gets himself a Dracomorph. No more spending. That's basically what was happening here. And so in retaliation for this, Raid goes on and they say, okay, well, give this guy a Dracomorph. So they give him a Dracomorph. Long story short, people see this because it's on a live stream and you can just watch it happen. So a Dracomorph shows up in the guy's account, he starts laughing, and now we have Dracogate 2020 where people are like, hey, I've spent $50,000 in the game, where's my Dracomorph? Now, there's a few things that we're going to need to cover. One of which is the story that people think are going on. 2 is the story Plarium saying it's going on. And 3 is probably the reality of the middle ground. So I'm going to try to break it down the best way I can. I'm also in probably a pretty good spot to break this down objectively because I am a content creator who has received a legendary for free. If you didn't know that, I've actually received a Mountain King. I'll break that down, more information. And I know all the other content creators who have received legendaries and the reasons why, etc. So I'll spill all the little beans today in a break-all, tell-all news story. So strap in, let's go. Okay, so you guys kind of get basically what happened here, right? He poed some shards, didn't get what he wanted, complained they were going to go on spending strike. Suddenly he has what he wants. All is well with the world, right? Now you have me here doing breaking news, talking about it. Everyone's complaining, la-di-da-di-da. Then we go back to here while Darth Microtransaction has been raising money on live streams. We have $200 from the Dracomorph Fund. And then we still have people like me out here, desperately about to buy these shards and hope for the Dracomorph, with raised money. Okay. I mean, that's the reality of the fact. And now people are salty because it's like, well, why didn't we all get it? So here's what the community thinks happened. First, I'm going to explain what the community thinks happened. Okay. I'm going to do this in my live breaking news segment here, which is that the community currently believes that what happened is that Cartman is a large enough whale because he has spent a big amount of money. I believe he's probably spent more money than me by a lot, considering I'm over 10,000, but he's beat all the faction wars 21, and I've only beat one of them. And he's rank 1 in the Platinum Arena I've seen before, and the guy has most of the characters in the game at this point, I believe. So I believe he is a large whale. So for that reason, people are saying, well, hey, I've spent a lot of money too. Why don't I get free legendary? Basically, they're thinking that Plarium is so greedy to the fact that they are unwilling to lose a large whale. They're just going to hand a legendary. That plus the fact he's a streamer and he has some sway with things. They kind of think that they're trying to buy him off, basically. And there's some favoritism, like playing teacher's pet type of stuff. Now, I have wondered about this myself. So I went and I directly contacted a higher up there. By higher up, I mean this is someone higher than a community manager. This is not a dev. Like this is someone in the high like corporate level here that I have a plug with that I managed to get a 7 minute like 8 second conversation video call with this guy to get a statement. Okay, and I'm gonna try to explain basically what he explained from my memory because I, obviously in these personal calls, I'm not willing to like record this stuff. And my memory is hazy because of, my asthma inhaler medication, heavy on the kappa. So let me walk you through this. Okay. That is what the Discord basically believes. There's favoritism. He's Russian. It's a Ukrainian based, game. Whatever that, I don't know. Okay. That's been thrown around the Discord. There's been the fact that, the devs like him. There's been the fact that he's large scale, blah, 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 favoritism, all that stuff being thrown around. Okay. And now what the company has stated, you can see their thing in the Discord. I'm not going to bother reading their announcement in the Discord because the story that, I was told, the statement that I was told is very similar. And so here's what it was. One of the higher ups there basically told me this is the process of what happened. Okay. The process is one, a while ago, Cartman cleared the all faction 21 ward. Okay. When they did that, they gave him some sacreds as like initial, like, here's a bone dog. Congratulations. Thanks for the money. And then they decided to give him something like better. And they originally were going to craft a character around them. This is so far exactly the same as what the Discord announcement was. Right. And when that development was going to happen, they dropped it for whatever reason. He didn't really get into specifics on that with me. They said in the Discord they dropped it because the character wasn't going to be relevant. I don't believe that. I think it was probably dropped just because it wasn't financially viable. Would make more sense in my personal opinion. Maybe maybe whatever. That part doesn't matter. Okay, I didn't get that bit of the detail out of it. But anyway, they dropped making the character based around Cartman. Okay. And that's kind of like the ultimate in-game privilege. You would really think having a character based around you. And last time they did it with Foley, he told me that didn't go so well. So they really, weren't feeling so good about doing it again. Okay. So they dropped it. Instead, they were going to do something for him. Okay. And they were planning on trying to figure out what they were going to do for him. A while ago, he had crunched his Dracomorph on accident on stream. That didn't mean they were planning to give him Dracomorph. That had just happened. Okay. When he started complaining about the Dracomorph, he very freely admitted to me, hey, when we started thinking, starting a problem with the Dracomorph and all that, it was starting a problem. And it's like, maybe we'll just give him the Dracomorph, stop a problem, with this and this, with these people, and that will also fill the faction wars. And they didn't really think it was going to be that big of a problem. But they did say they were going to communicate it. But the content creation team, basically, the ones that deal with this type of stuff, went out there and pulled the trigger, on this before they really communicated. And they weren't happy about that at all because they wanted to kind of verbally express it and get ahead of the storm, really. I mean, they wanted to really get ahead of it and explain their side of the story before it hit. Now, so that's basically the statement I was told. It sounded fairly believable. The guy's a nice guy. My read of him was he was telling the truth as he understood it. I don't believe he was lying to me. Whether or not this situation is acceptable, I don't really think is up for me to say. I'm going to let you guys make the call on that. But now you kind of know at least what the people think happened, what Plarium says happened. And my personal take on it is this. I've received Mount King for free. I received Mount King for free back when they wanted me to make a video on Mount King. I said, well, how am I going to do that without Mount King? So they gave it to me. That video I then made and said Mount King's basically a pile of garbage. They then buffed Mount King. I said he was still a pile of garbage. And they buffed him again, and he ended up being usable in Arena. Now, they have given other people legendaries. For instance, Brad has got Martyr. Crabbo John's got Hegemon. Actually, he's not the only one that got Hegemon. A round of content creators got Hegemon. There's some others in there. Anyway, it's not the first It's not going to be the last. And whether or not this is okay, I'm going to say is up to you guys. I do know that they're planning to do something like this again for people to do, like, first faction war clears, like big achievements. They want to do something for that, but they're going to try to make it more of a, do X, get Y, more very structured, regimented thing so that there's not all this confusion and, bad PR around it. Now, for me, I received the Mountain King. Was it game-changing for me on my account? It did help a ton in Arena. Is that fair that I received a free Mountain King because they wanted me to make a video on it? I don't know. Mountain King did end up getting buffed, partly into the fact that I did make a video showing that he was quite bad and that he needed more damage. And we did receive that. So it's an interesting point, because if I had not received a free Mountain King, I wouldn't have been able to make that video, and who knows if he would be as good as he is today. So other people who have Mountain Kings might have received a better Mountain King because of it. But at the same time, you could say I've been climbing Arena unfairly because I've received a Mountain King. There's a lot of ways we could really go with this, especially when it comes to the Dracomorph. Dracomorph, instead of being one of the worst legendaries in the game like Mountain King, it's one of the best legendaries in the game. And it's really bad timing because he received it right when they're complaining. The solid take on it for me is they probably gave him the button because he was complaining at the last moment, and they really didn't want to have a problem on their hands. And that with the faction wars have happened a while ago, they're now using that maybe as their way of explaining it. I don't know. That's just my take, because that kind of seems like a reasonable middle. It seems like to me in most things like this, there's the take the people think, there's what Plarium says, and then it's probably in the middle. I'm not sure. It's up to you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this one. It is kind of a big deal. The community's not really happy about this one, okay? So I will come out with a Twitch live stream directly after posting this video, and I'm going to be opening shards. I'll show you here. I picked up a Zavia, so I'm leveling that now, but I have $200 left in the Draco Fund, and I'm going to spend in that $200 as soon as this video goes live at twitch.tv/Darth Microtransaction. I will leave a pinned comment. I'll see you there, boys. Please do subscribe. Also, guys, please do sub. If we hit 27,000 subs from this video, we've hit 800 subs in one video before. I know it can happen, okay? If we only need like 300 off this video, I will start next video with a handstand.